Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This week I'm going solo for my Newcastle update and I hope you guys enjoy it. Please do subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'm trying to grow the channel and I would love your support if you do enjoy my content, that is. Loads of Newcastle news over the past week that we need to get through today. So let's get started. So let's start in chronological order. Yep. The Brighton game. I mean, I don't want to dwell on the defeat, obviously. It's Thursday now, and after last night's performance in the Morecambe game, I'd rather just focus on that and just sort of look ahead to the Spurs game. But what I will say is this. After wins against West Ham and Blackburn Rovers with our rejuvenated squad, we went into the Brighton game and we lost 3-0. It could have easily been 5-0. We didn't even manage a shot on target. Why? Well, 2-0 down in 7 minutes, it was always going to be a huge mountain to climb. And secondly, I think we grossly underestimated Brighton. Tariq Lamptey, for one, he was a force to be reckoned with. 19 years old, and I think he's the Premier League's most dangerous right wing back. Almiron didn't start. He came on at half-time to replace Andy Carroll. Jeff Hendrick then sort of moved into his favoured role in the middle, and Miggy really gave the squad more balance on the left-hand side. I'll speak more about Miggy later, but in my opinion, he needed to have started really. So to summarise, the 4-4-2 was effective in the West Ham game, yes. But did that warrant a sort of copy and paste for the Brighton game? No, it didn't. It just allowed Brighton to expose our weaknesses. And like I said, starting the game 2-0 down was just an uphill struggle and the squad couldn't recover from that. So Steve Bruce held his hands up and he admitted that he got it wrong against Brighton. So last night we had our Carabao Cup tie against Morecambe, and I hope you guys forked out a tenner for that because it was probably the best £10 I've spent in a really, really long time. Steve Bruce made 9 changes and, well, you saw what happened. We won 7-0. Now, you know what annoyed me? Fans were tweeting, calm down, it's only Morecambe, you know, a League 2 side. Firstly, can we enjoy this please? 7-0 wins don't come around often for us. But seriously, I don't care that it's Morecambe. You know, confidence is everything. And Joelinton scored twice, I think more than anyone in the squad. He needed that desperately, and I'm just praying it gives him the boost his league performances need. His body language since the start of the restart, it's spoken volumes, you know, the pressure had got to him. He's only human. He missed out on a huge chunk of pre-season. There are new additions in the squad now. He's no longer a guaranteed starter this season. It was his opportunity to just pull through and put up a decent display and just show that he has got it in him to score goals. He could have had his first hat-trick last night, if he didn't miss the easiest chance I've ever seen in my life. It was so painful, but hey, let's just focus on the positive for now. Okay, let's move on to another key player for me, Miggy Almiron. He's a bright spark. His strong performance last night proved one thing for me, and I'm sure Steve Bruce will take note. He has to start making league starts again. So far this season, Steve Bruce has preferred to field Hayden and John Joe Shelvey as a pairing with like Andy Carroll and Callum Wilson in attack, but we can't ignore Miggy's form and his intent when on the pitch. He has a goal and 3 assists in 2020-21 in all competitions. I know it should have, coulda, woulda for the Brighton game, but he should have started at the weekend in the Brighton game, in my opinion. I know Steve Bruce has like a really tough task forming the starting 11 for the Spurs game, but Miggy has to make the cut in my opinion. Now let's talk about Jacob Murphy. I'd probably have him down as my favourite player in last night's victory. A superb goal, an assist, several dangerous crosses. What more could we have asked for? He couldn't have done more to show that he really does deserve to stay with us. And after the match, I was really pleased to hear that Steve Bruce said Jacob Murphy deserves to stay with us, and you know, he's improved enormously. He's had a really good pre-season and he's shown a great attitude. he said that he'd really benefited from him being out on loan last season. So I guess that's one less worry in terms of forming our team this transfer window. He deserves a run in the team. But will he get his chance? Like with ASM, Almiron, Fraser and Richie, I'm not so sure, but I will always welcome good options who have the right attitude too. So I'm happy he's staying. Lastly, I want to talk about Sean Longstaff. Last night's promising performance really was a long time coming. I've had my concerns with his displays since coming back from his knee ligament injury, like everyone else. But this was really encouraging. You could just tell he was desperate to get on the score sheet. He made 122 passes, but yeah, last night it wasn't his night to score. Let's just hope that he can keep up this momentum and potentially reach the form of early 2019. He's young, I do believe he'll improve, and we've seen glimpses of potential. I remember at the Oxford game in February, Steve Bruce sort of tweaked the formation, and I thought, wow, okay, Sean in the number 10 role is by far his best position. It worked a treat. He was great, he thrived in that position. And at the time, Joelinton and Sean, they'd both been well below par that season, like last season, and that setup, I think it really brought the best out of them, a goal and an assist by both. So I'm hoping for the best for Sean. I have got a soft spot for him and I want him to revive his form. I think he can this season. Now let's move on to some transfer talk. So yeah, we've made 5 decent signings, and obviously Lejeune and Muto, they've both left the club. On October the 5th, the transfer window does shut, and there is a lot of decisions for Steve Bruce and his team to make prior to that. We have an oversized squad, that is for sure, and I'm sorry to say, but we must aim for quality over quantity to really progress this season. I'm more than happy with the signing so far, but where we shift the Deadwood and free up funds over the next week, it could be crucial for our 2020-2021 campaign. DeAndre Yedlin is one who's most likely on his way out. Sod's law that he put up a great display last night, pacing up and down both flanks and getting an assist. But yeah, in terms of his future with us, he's way down on the pecking order and he hasn't featured in any of our Premier League games so far this season. Whether he heads to Besiktas or the MLS, I'd be happy to see him go, not on a free transfer though, as I've seen reported. I tweeted about this in the week. We should at least try and get a couple of million for him. His contract is up in 9 months. He's just 27 years old, he's got experience in English football. Yes, he's down the pecking order with us and we need to cut wages somewhere, but we also need to recoup cash wherever possible. This week I've seen a lot of talk surrounding the potential signing of Rodrigo Vidal. So he's 21 years old, he's described as a Peruvian wonder kid, but Solano was asked his thoughts on this prospect. Obviously Solano is the assistant manager of Peru and us Magpies value his opinion. Anyways, he kind of said not to expect too much too soon from Vidal. Now he did say he's technically gifted, but he's in the process of development. And it was only last season that he started playing first team football at his club. So interesting input from Solano. I guess we'll have to see how this talk progresses over the next week. Okay, let's finish with looking ahead to Sunday's game against Spurs. Now Spurs are coming off a big win, 5-2 against Southampton last Sunday. Son scored 4 of those goals. And I'm worried at how we're going to approach Son and obviously Harry Kane as well, who's finding his form after a really long time out with injury. Spurs were scheduled a League Cup clash this week as well, which was cancelled due to Leyton Orient players testing positive for COVID. And they are heading to Macedonia tonight for a Europa League game, which today's Thursday, by the way. It's tonight at 7 p.m. Even though Gareth Bale has arrived in North London, he won't make his debut until next month, thank God. I just get the feeling after a sour end to his time in Spain, he'll be ready and raring to go in English football, and I didn't want to be the first opposition that he faces. So to conclude, Spurs will be no easy task. Yeah, there's a feel-good factor coming off, a 7-0 midweek victory Alan Saint-Maximin should be back on Sunday after twisting his ankle in the Brighton game. Jamal Lewis is certainly ruled out with his swollen eye, but otherwise no new admissions due to injury. Great. And if we look at the first time we encountered Spurs early last season, Bruce set up the team to defend deep and keep the Spurs attacking pressure at bay. Joelinton got on the score sheet. It wasn't pretty by any means, but we came away winning 1-0, and I never expected that. So I'm hoping for the best. I would take a draw. Son and Harry Kane, they're pretty formidable on a good day, so I'm not expecting a win. One thing is for sure though, for me, Almiron has to start. 3 assists in 3 games. He should be starting Premier League games, and I hope Steve Bruce, I hope he feels the same about that. Alright guys, I'm pretty much done. I hope you enjoyed this solo Newcastle update video. Remember, I upload these every single Thursday, so comment below your thoughts. I really do like hearing what you guys have to say. Do subscribe for more stuff, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!